Hey kiddos, I hope you're ready for us to start 1.5a after our whole week of review. 1.5a. Today we are going to be talking about naming angles. So we talked about a lot about points, lines, and planes. Last unit, this unit, it's all going to be about angles. So what is an angle, okay? So an angle is a set of points consisting of two different rays that have the same endpoint. So let's draw a picture of an angle, okay? So let's say that I have this endpoint, and I'm going to label it endpoint. And from this endpoint, I'm going to have two rays coming out of it. So I'll do one in red, and it'll go this way. And this will be my first ray, or my ray 1. It's going to go off forever in this direction. And then let's say that we have another ray right here, and this is our second ray, or ray 2. So this is what an angle looks like. It's two rays coming out of the same endpoint, okay? But because we're talking about angles now, we have different names for some of the pieces of this, okay? Such as the word endpoint. We won't use the word endpoint anymore. Instead, we're going to use the word vertex. This is going to be our vertex. And we've talked about vertices before, but now we're applying it to angles. So a vertex is the point where two of the rays intersect on an angle, okay? Now we're going to rename the rays. They're not going to be called rays this chapter, even though they are rays. They're going to be called sides. So instead of ray 2, this is going to be side 2, or second side. Okay, and this, instead of ray 1, it's going to be our first side. So this is going to be side. Next, we're going to talk about the interior and exterior of the angles. Okay, so the interior of the angle has the word in it, so it's going to be inside the angles. So everything that I'm putting with dots right now, this is on the inside of the angle. Okay? And along the same line of thinking, we have the exterior of the angle, which is everything outside the angle. So everything outside the angle is the exterior. So in this angle, we have our vertex B, because remember the vertex is where lines are coming out of, or the rays are coming out of. And then the A and C are just points on the rays, okay? So first thing we're gonna do is put our finger on the vertex. We're going to put our finger on the vertex. Second, we're going to draw a little greater than symbol. It doesn't mean greater than here. This is a symbol for just saying angle. Okay? So with your finger still on the vertex, you're going to pick a side, either A or C. It really does not matter. So I'm going to pick A. Okay, so I'm starting up here. Then you say the vertex. So then I write B, and then I go to the side I did not pick. So this would be C. So this is angle ABC. I could have said it the other way. Instead of choosing A first, I could have chose C first, and it would have looked like angle. The side I chose was C. Then we write our vertex B, and then the side we did not choose at first, A. Since this vertex is only referring to this angle right here, you could also name this just angle B. Name it with the vertex. Let's do another example. Okay, so here we have an angle that looks a lot different from our last one. We can find the vertex by seeing where the rays touch. So our vertex is at point Q. So step 1, put our fingers on the vertex. Step 2, write our symbol. Step 3 is to pick one of the sides. I'm going to pick R this time. It does not matter. Then we write the vertex letter, so I will write Q. And then the side we didn't pick at first, so P. Okay, we could do this a different way as well. So draw our symbol, the side that we didn't pick originally, so I'm going to start with P this time, then the vertex, then the side that we haven't used. And since Q is only, this vertex is only referring to this angle, we can refer to this angle as angle Q. Let's do another example. So this angle looks a lot different. It has 3 sides, but still only 1 vertex. So we want to find the name for this angle with these 2 rays, okay? Not this angle. So we want to find this angle with the arrow pointing to it, okay? Step 1, put our fingers on the vertex. And remember, the vertex is where the rays are coming out from. I'm going to put my finger on B. Then I'm going to draw our symbol. I'm going to pick C this time to go first. Then our vertex. And then the side I haven't used yet. Okay? Remember, we could go the other way as well. So if we started with D, then we would go to our vertex B, and then the side we didn't use, C. Now, for the last 2 examples, we said that if B was referring to, or our vertex was only referring to this angle, the angle that we wanted, then we could just name it with angle B. However, in this example, angle B is talking about this angle, it's talking about this angle, and it's talking about this huge angle. So we cannot just use angle B in this case. So these are the only names we can use here. Okay, here's our last example. So we want to find a name for this angle, because the arrow is pointing at C, so that's our vertex. Okay, so step 1, put our finger on the vertex. Step 2, draw our symbol and pick a side. I'm going to pick B this time. So B, and then you write your vertex, C, and then the side we didn't use yet, so D. Remember, we can reverse it, so let's go ahead and do that. We draw our symbol, the other side, D, then our vertex, then the last side, B. And since C, the only angle it is referring to is this angle right here, we can notate it with just angle